clairvoyance of being press is limited, and so we rely on press releases. Although, today I'm going to be starting off with a story that isn't a press release, but every other news organisation, and I mean literally every other news organisation, not just the gaming ones, but the Independent has really run off with this, and all of the ones have run off with this, and that is that PewDiePie, the online gaming YouTube person, the Lord King of YouTube, as basically I've decided to call him for the last near decade, has been dropped by Disney over the video that you may have seen about a month ago, something like that, which was about Fiverr and a sign and anti-Semitic remarks. I am not going to get involved over the actual remarks itself, because that is a quagmire of issues that I'm not going to get involved in. No, I don't think PewDiePie is an anti-Semite. I think he's a bit of a moron, mainly for doing the video, because he's been pushing a lot of the time of seeing how far he could push the internet with controversy and all the other stuff like that. And so, in my opinion, he's someone who wanted to push the internet to see how far he could go, kept pushing, pushed too hard. Whatever, past is in the past. He did the video, and now he's been dropped by Disney. More specifically, he's been dropped by Maker Studios, his network, which is owned by Disney. This is where the Disney connection comes in. He's been dropped by Maker Studios, which is owned by Disney. Everyone seems to have jumped on to the, as previously mentioned, the actual remark itself, and the free speech, and all that stuff. Like I said, not getting involved in the free speech stuff. The bit that I am going to get involved in is the background stuff, more than anything else. Because, as I said at the beginning, PewDiePie has been basically the Lord King of YouTube for near a decade now, something like that. It's before, when I first started on YouTube 10 years ago, there was the person who was the most subscribed or the most watched changed almost month to month a lot of the time. Every now and then you would have the big ones, like the Ray William Johnsons and the Nigga Higgers, and it's loads. But PewDiePie has been the Lord King for a long time, for many years now. So having him dropped by his network is a big and bold move, because it means that it doesn't matter how big you are, you make stupid remarks on the internet, you're going to get repercussions. So that is an interesting sign in that regard. Another point is that through the cancellation and the pulling of Maker, his YouTube show, Scare PewDiePie, has also been cancelled. YouTube has pulled the plug on the whole thing. The interesting part about that is that when YouTube Red got announced last year or whatever, PewDiePie ended up being the face of it, because it's fucking PewDiePie, Lord King of YouTube. So he ended up being the face of it. Now he's been pulled. They don't really have a face, like an actual face for the brand, for the YouTube Red brand now, because they can't go, yes, he's the Lord King of YouTube, and we don't give him his show. There is probably going to be some very interesting things around the premium advertising, especially around for YouTube Red, with the sudden pulling of all PewDiePie stuff, and what's going to happen to PewDiePie's other stuff, because he's already got the season out, and he's already recorded the second season. The second season was recorded end of last year, so the second season of Scare PewDiePie was already done, or at least already filmed. In that regard, this whole thing is going to get very interesting, because YouTube Red has lost their poster boy. So that's also very interesting. And the same could be said for Maker Studios. The poster boy for Maker Studios was PewDiePie, the Lord King of YouTube. So Maker had a big plus by going, yeah, we're the guys who manage PewDiePie, the most subscribed and probably most watched YouTuber on the platform for many years or ever. Now Maker doesn't have that anymore. Although, the one thing that Maker does have is Revel Mode. Revel Mode is a network that was made by PewDiePie a couple of years or so back, that has all the PewDiePie gang in there. It's got Marzia, Jack, Mark, a couple other people like Kick the PJ, Emma Blackery, Ken, Crytek, and it's got that entire grouping in there. and it was set up and I'm presuming owned and sort of run by PewDiePie himself, because it's PewDiePie's idea essentially when it was created. But it is owned and the business side of it is managed by Maker Studios, and so Revel Mode hasn't said anything about PewDiePie leaving Revel Mode yet. So this may end up being an interesting case of everything going, oh yes, he's left Maker Studios. Maker Studios proper. He's still part of Revel Mode, which is still a sub-network of Maker Studios. That is one of the interesting things. I want to know what is going to happen with PewDiePie and Revel Mode, because he's still in, at the point of recording, still a developing story. So I'm not going to nail anything to the wall just yet. With PewDiePie is still part of Revel Mode, because if he is leaving Revel Mode, that means he's leaving his baby, because Revel Mode was his idea. That's what everyone was saying when Revel Mode first came along a year or so back. So, out of all of this, the interesting stories are: 1, Maker Studios have lost their poster boy; 2, YouTube Red has lost their poster boy and lost a series that was potentially making them money; and 3, is PewDiePie still staying with Revel Mode? Because if he is part of Revel Mode, he still is part of Maker Studios in quotations, because Revel Mode is owned by Maker Studios. So those are the 3 points out of this, besides of all of the free speech. Those 3 points are probably the most fascinating parts of all of this, and they're all the business stuff, all of the business stuff around it, because, well, PewDiePie is the Lord King of YouTube, and he has been for quite some time, and he has had time. The response to see how this turns out, in the sense of the business, is going to be very interesting. And this also meant that I had to go through his Twitter, and I noticed he coloured his hair. And that image, as soon as I saw that image, the only thing I thought of was, you're a man after my own heart, you bastard. Going into the more normal gaming news that we usually cover, we got an email from Capcom about the Volume 2 DLC, the banned footage Volume 2 DLC that is coming out for Resident Evil 7. It is now out for PlayStation 4 owners for £11.99 or €14.99 if you're on the continent. As I said before with the most previous other DLC, the banned footage Volume 1, this is for PS4 users only for now. Both Volume 1 and Volume 2 are coming out for all other platforms on February 21st, excuse me. And there is going to be a free Not a Hero update, which is going to have story updates and story DLC. That was going to be free. The banned footage Volume 1, Volume 2 are paid DLC. The Not a Hero is going to be a free DLC for all. So banned footage Volume 2 is now out. For everyone else, it's not going to come out until February 21st. And as there is never a week without esports news, we have a release here from ESL UK and Varsity Games as they partner for the Derby Series Lancaster, a big match-up between Leicester University and De Montfort University. As they say here, the revolutionary event will not only give students in the city of Leicester a chance to decide once and for all who has the stronger League of Legends roster, but will also see 18 students operating all staff and broadcast talent positions from producer to deck host. The Derby Series therefore presents an educational opportunity for students looking to develop in careers in esports. And there is a lot more to those skills than just saying we are good esports commentators. If you have a knowledge of football or rugby or American football or anything like that, those skills are easily transferable over, just with a different knowledge set. The 2 quotes that they have in the release, Rob Black from ESL UK and Amy Wu, the managing director of Varsity Games, both iterate that there is this growing culture within sort of the sector of university and sort of student sports for esports to come in. All you have to do is look towards America and see the Heroes of the Dorm series and the tournament that was set up by Blizzard for the Heroes of the Storm series last year to see that there is a space here for university tournaments and local university tournaments. Going on to Games Press, there is not really that much to really talk about. We're getting into the hype season a lot with the schedules that are coming out now. An example that we're getting to the hype season is that Electronic Arts has joined forces with the ESA, the European Space Agency, to put 6 YouTube people, content creators as they say, when I say YouTubers, through astronaut training for Mass Effect Andromeda. As they say here, the Andromeda initiative has registered 6 new human recruits to board the Ark Hyperion. Before embarking on this mission to explore a new galaxy, they must prove themselves through a series of training sessions with the European Astronaut Centre, part of the ESA, home base for all European astronauts. They will discover what it means to be courageous, bold, adventurous, and maybe weightless after all, in wind turbines, or the Vomit Comet, as it is colloquially known. The content creators that I've chosen goes over the breadth of Europe. We have Squeezy from France, the Grief G from Spain, Pismet from Germany, Jane from Outside Xbox, Saifun from Poland, and Stefan from the UK. This whole thing is just a big PR thing, obviously, for Mass Effect Andromeda. You have 6 YouTubers being paid to go through this 3-day reality show astronaut training thing. As it says here at the bottom, Mass Effect Andromeda launches on March 21st, 2017 for North America, and March 23rd, 2017 for Europe.